Alright guys, it is time for your end of mission assessment. Okay, after you have placed your name and the date on your paper, let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. Okay, remember this is a 10-point question. 1. Find 3 divided by 3/5 using the tape diagram to support your answer. So you have this beautiful rectangle here that is waiting to be a tape diagram that is labeled. Guess what? When you throw some weird squiggly marks on this rectangle, it does not magically become a tape diagram. You must actually show me three holes, right? How do we do that? We take this strip and show it as 3 holes. That's like 3 pieces of toilet paper. First, that's the first thing you need to do. Then you must show groups of 3/5. Well, if I took 1 piece of toilet paper and I broke it into 5 parts, what would that look like? And if I did that 3 times because I have 3 pieces of toilet paper, what would that look like? How many total pieces would there be? And then if I grouped those into 3 pieces per group, 3/5 per group, what would that look like? You have done this over and over again on your Zearn. Your Zearn has had you break apart into 3 groups. Then it has had you break those groups into 5 pieces each. Then it has had you shade in 3 of those pieces at a time to then look and see how many groups of 3/5 are in 3. Okay? Then, so after you show me that on your tape diagram, show me 3 holes broken into fifths and shaded to show groups of 3/5. You're going to look at how many groups of 3/5 did you make, and you're going to write that answer here. Okay, so I must see your groups of 3/5 here, and I must see your answer written, how many groups you were able to make here. Okay, all right. Number 2 is also worth 10 points. Okay, there are 10 possible points that you can make here. Here it just says find 16/21 divided by 4/3. Show your reasoning. That means that you're going to take your 16/21 divided by 4/3 and you're going to show me those steps, right? Step 1. Are they both in fraction form? Step 2, keep the dividend. Step 3, change the operation to the inverse operation. Step 4, use the reciprocal of the divisor. Step 5, excuse me, step 5, simplify. Step 6, multiply across, and then you get your answer. Sorry. After you do all of those steps over here, this is where you're going to show your work. After you do those steps and you figure out what your answer is, please make sure to write your answer here. That's how I can see, oh look, they did all this beautiful work over here, but what the heck is their actual answer? Oh, I know what it is because they wrote it on the line. Okay? Right. I hope you're pausing in between these instructions to do the work. Okay, so like after I gave you the instructions for number 1, pause the video. Do number 1. Okay, then unpause it. Listen to the instructions for number 2. Pause the video. Okay, hopefully you've done number 1 and number 2. If not, pause the video. Okay, now let's move on to number 3. We're stepping up in points because we're stepping up in difficulty level. Okay, this one is a little harder. Number 3 says the area of a rectangle is 18 square units. That means that this square here would be broken up into 18 squares. 18 squares fit inside of this space. What is the width of the rectangle? What is the width of the rectangle? That's what we don't know. Write and solve a division sentence to find the width of the rectangle. Right, I walked you through exactly how to do this in your study guide. And I'm going to tell you again, length times width equals area. Okay, so what you have to do is you go, oh, length, I know the length, so I can replace the word length with this number here. Width, I don't know. That's a question mark. Area, oh, I know the area. It's right here. Okay, I know the area. Now you have a multiplication equation where you're missing a factor. That means that you can go ahead and change this into a division equation. Then the same 6 steps that you used for number 2, you can use here. Make sure that both the dividend and the divisor are in fraction form. Do you have a mixed number? Don't forget how to change your mixed number into a fraction. Multiply the whole number times the denominator and add the numerator and place that over the denominator to tell, in this case, how many fourths there are altogether. Okay, that's how we change. And then a whole number, how do we change a whole number into a fraction? We just put it over 1. Alright, so you're gonna be able to take this multiplication equation, change it into a division equation, use your algorithm, the steps that are written on the board, in order to solve that. After you have solved it, please make sure to write your answer here. That way I know what your actual answer is. Please also write your division equation here. Okay, it says to write and solve a division sentence. That means that you must write the division equation here as well. Alright. Number 4. Oh, we are stepping up big time in points now. 22 points. Mr. Baldwin is packing a shipping box that has a total volume, the volume of 108 cubic inches. Okay, this box, if I was to break it into cubic inches, that means cubes, and they're 1 inch on all sides, there's 108 that would fit in this box. The box is 6 inches wide and 12 inches long. A. These 22 points belong to A here. What is the height of the shipping box? So if you can see here, we know the length, we know the width. What we don't know is the height, how tall it is. Height means tall. Alright? Now I'm going to give you the formula for volume. Length times width times height equals volume. You're going to replace this information with what you know. You know the length. You know the width. You don't know. You have a question mark for the height. You know the volume. Okay? I walked you through the steps of exactly how to solve this in your study guide. You're going to replace the values with the words that you know and the question mark that for what you don't know. You're going to do the multiplication for the numbers that can be multiplied so you can simplify this equation. That way you're going to be left with a number times don't know what equals a number. You have that information, and then you're going to change that into your related division equation so that you can solve that using your algorithm. Okay? You can use the space available to solve that using your algorithm. Make sure that everything is in fraction form. Keep the dividend, inverse operation, reciprocal divisor, right? Simplify, multiply, get your answer. All right. Now, B, we're still using this information about the 18 cubic inches inside of the box, right? The volume of it, 6 inches wide, 12 inches long, and now you also know the height as well because you've already solved A. You're going to use all of that information for B, and you're going to figure out how many 3/2 go into the length, right? You're going to figure out how many 3/2 go into the width. You're going to see how many 3/2 go into the height. And then you're going to take all of those values that you get after you divide the length times 3/2, the width times 3/2, the height times 3/2. You're going to take all of your quotients and you're going to multiply them together. And that's going to tell you how many ring boxes can he ship. So then in the end, you're going to say, Mr. Baldwin can ship blank ring boxes. Okay. I showed you exactly how to do this in the study guide. Right, number 5, last one. Evangeline is making snack bags for her class. She can fill 5/8 of her snack bags with 1 2/3 cups of pretzels. How many cups of pretzels are needed to fill all of the snack bags? Write a multiplication equation and a division equation for the situation, then answer the question. So in the end, after you solve this, you should be able to answer and say, Evangeline, I love that name, can use blank, might be a mixed number, whatever, blank cups of pretzels to fill her snack bags. Right? I showed you exactly how to do this on the study guide step by step. Hopefully you were paying really good attention. Sorry, you can see that better. Hopefully you were paying really good attention to the study guide. Hopefully you went over it again last night for your homework like I asked you to. Hopefully you have completed all of your Zern lessons in order to be prepared for today's assessment. Okay? Alright, when you're done, bring it to me and do a great job.